Who's used Vend?
Who's used Vend? So Vend is cloud-based point-of-sale software. So our customers are retailers all over the world, and New Zealand is HQ for us. So this is our head office. It's where all of our product development is. But because we have customers all over the world, we need to look after all over the world. So we have offices in Melbourne, Toronto, San Francisco, and some more European offices opening this year as well. So I'm the head of talent, and Ben is our VP of engineering. So I thought I would bring him along because he's probably much more entertaining to you than me. But we want to... No, it's good. It's good. It's nice to have so what we thought we would cover is why on earth you would want to use something like social media for your job hunt. And it's great because Will's kind of already set the tone, and as has Simon, and I feel like we're probably recycling some stuff. But we'll go for it.
Yeah, I mean, so Will made some really, really good points about why you should have a presence online and how much of yourself you should put into it. I think you made one of the points you made that I loved, I personally think is really important is when you use your presence to give back, that's when it starts to really pay off. But Kirsti showed me this stat and I was quite surprised by it, but 65% of our hires in the last year have been referrals. So that's basically your chances of getting a job somewhere like Vend are much higher if you know someone who works at Vend or you have been referred by them as opposed to if you come in cold.
Yeah.
What's that saying?
So 52% of those were internal referrals, and a good chunk of those, I would be as bold as to say 90% of those came about via a link on a social platform. So someone sharing it on Twitter or someone putting it up on Facebook or LinkedIn. The remaining of that, they came via, I guess, what we call friends of Vend. So just people that follow us on Twitter, our customers, people that just know Vend. They know someone who they think it'll be a great fit, and they're like, you should definitely work at Vend, here you go. So our job is always to try and keep that figure really, really high, because our best hires are via those means.
Yeah, it saves Kirsti time as well. She knows they're kind of pre-qualified. We have a don't be a dick ethos as well, and you wouldn't prefer someone who you didn't think wasn't a good fit.
Totally. That's the plan anyway. So these are some of our favourite social platforms. Hands up who has an Instagram account. Good. Do you post regularly? Like daily? Weekly? Neither of us are wearing microphones. Who's got a microphone?
Once. That's all right.
That's fine.
What about GitHub? This is my personal interest area. Who's got a GitHub account?
That's actually not bad.
It's not too bad. I mean, for me as a technical hiring manager, GitHub is just an absolute godsend, because if you're on there and you're contributing to open source, I mean, Vend is built on open source, and that's part of giving back is contributing. We can see the quality of your code, we can see how often you update, and see your the kind of conversations you have at a technical level as well. So that's an awesome one to be involved in.
Yeah, we totally stalk you on GitHub. I don't, because I have no idea what you're doing, but I get other people to. Facebook, everyone's on Facebook, right? Actually, no, people wouldn't even bother putting their hands up. It's just such a it's funny, like, I actually don't stalk too much on Facebook anymore, and I think that's just down to time. But it is such a huge source of those referrals coming through. Is this people that are just posting stuff up on their timeline saying, you know how much I rave about working at Vend? Well, we're hiring. And
yeah, pictures of the Bear King or pictures of dogs at Vend, that sort of stuff. It's things that get people interested in applying.
Yeah, totally. And then there is Twitter, and I think 95% of our staff are on Twitter.
Who's on Twitter?
Good. That was one of the speakers.
Yeah.
I like it. So the things that we look for on Twitter is just engagement. Like if you're not talking to people, if you're lurking, or if you're just sending out 1,000,001 links and not actually offering any sort of insight along with those links, then it's pretty unengaging, and it's not particularly fun for us to kind of watch you and interact with you.
Yeah. So what happens if you're on one of these platforms is we get a really good picture of who you are, like a whole picture. If you're discussing things about Ruby or discussing things about PHP or DevOps on Twitter, and you're also contributing on GitHub, it gives us a complete picture that we know you're not faking. We know you're for real. And that's a real help.
Which leads us nicely on to why it matters. So being a part of the community, so turning up today, you're being a part of the IT community in Auckland. There are meetups for everything under the sun. Who goes to meetups?
So if you don't, you should hit up meetup.com. It's really easy to search for meetups in Auckland, and you can search by flavour. Is it a .NET or a PHP or an HTML meetup? It's a good place to meet others who are doing the same thing.
Yeah. And it's how you get those referrals too, right? Because there will be, so for example, we're hosting the continuous delivery meetup this week. Thursday night. Meetup.com/continuous delivery. And along, with the people that are attending, there's going to be a bunch of vendors. And they're going to be interacting with people that are coming along, they're going to be talking. It's not by any means all about Vend, it's all about continuous delivery. And that's how you can get them in. Just find someone with a Vend t-shirt.
And because that will help you, you can learn how people are doing things. Obviously, it helps you in job interviews. You can talk about, hey, I saw this great new tool or great new technology at a meetup. That's the sort of conversation that really interests us, and really, as a hiring manager and a recruiter, we'll ask those questions. Do you go to meetups? Do you collaborate? Do you contribute? Because that's part of what makes a great employee in our
which links on to point number 2, collaborating,
Yep.
teaching and learning. So being a part of that, we rope people into speaking all the time, and it's good for them. They're probably not particularly used to speaking, but what we really like about it is that communication component. So that ability to just talk so enthusiastically about the thing that we love. So just being really, really into what we do.
And the last one there, culture.
Being legit.
Being legit, absolutely. Being legit just means, being involved in the community and talking amongst your peers, again, helps us understand your level of ability. We're not saying you have to be a superstar who talks at every meetup, but if you're having a discussion around the latest technology, it helps us understand and we'll find those things. The last one, culture, is interesting, and I would go against Will in terms of what do you say? It's called moderating your level of personal, right? I'm on the other side.
More video. Continue.
I would say that you put your all into your social profile. You just bare it all and say, this is who I am, and this is, warts and all, this is what I do. Because it's going to come out anyway, right? When you're at work and you're discussing with people. So I think everyone has different opinions, different politics, different beliefs. But we'll employ people of all those shades and all any type of belief system.
Totally.
Yeah. So don't hide who you are. Don't try and be fake. Be real on social media, because that again is just part of who you are. It's part of the mix and part of the diversity that's really, really important to our technology career.
And swearing is okay as well. So it's really funny. So until a year ago today, one of my rules with social was that I would never swear. So all the events that I would attend and I would talk about personal branding, I would always be like, just don't swear. And then I started at Vend. Now I swear heaps in real life. I put that barrier between my social. I kind of thought it was unprofessional. But now I swear a lot online. But you don't have to, but you can. But it's always really positive. Like it's fuck yeah, and it's fucking awesome. And it's positive stuff. It's really quite cool. We have a sign on our wall that says just fucking do it. And we're generally not swearing at one another in a negative way, which is also quite cool. So embrace the swearing cats. Now, so there is obviously, it's very important that you can technically do the job that you're applying for. It kind of helps, kind of like the L'Oreal expert, the database administrator. Yeah. But there is far more beyond that technical ability, and that's something that we look at as well. But you can have all of the qualifications and all the things under the sun that say that you're great at this job, but it's way more than that, and we will hire on culture fit way over technical ability. We'd rather not have someone than have the wrong culture fit. So the things that are important are...
So yeah, this is the stuff that you've got here, being enthusiastic. So those discussions, you might disagree, you might have different ideas, but as long as you're enthusiastic and with the discussion, it's great. Part of a team, so GitHub helps here, contribution, helping each other out, that sort of stuff.
It's not about you.
Yeah.
It's not about having an ego. It's not about saying, yeah, that was my idea. I did that. It's more about like, yeah, we did that.
Help each other out. Yeah.
And it having an opinion.
Yeah, I mean, having an opinion goes to the whole, how much personal opinion do I put out there? Don't be afraid of voicing a particular point of view. I mean, we have an incredibly robust culture at Vend around code reviews. Anyone can tell anyone else that they think that the way they did something in code was wrong or crap, and they should do it another way, and that'll start a discussion, not an argument. So have an opinion about the way you think stuff should be done. Culture we've talked about.
And not being a dick.
Yeah.
So we knew that you guys would be a bit quiet on the question front, so we thought we'd bring bribery. So we have 2 Vend awesome sources to give away and 1 t-shirt. Now I picked a selection of t-shirt sizes, so we'll hopefully have your size, but take it away.
So awesome sauce is what drives Vend. It's our special secret sauce. Yeah,
What are some ways to find some open source projects that you can work on? I mean, a lot of open source projects are really complex. It's hard for beginners to get into it. Whereas, what's some easy ones you can get into which will highlight and show yourself off?
I'd say pick something that you want to use rather than develop. Use it and find the bugs and start talking about it in that sense. So I find that just reading other people's code is a really good learning tool. But also fixing bugs is a really lightweight way to do this. And you talk to anyone who, I'm not hey, this is not working properly for me, and I think this is the line of code where it's going wrong. And they get involved that way. So you don't have to really contribute massive amounts of new code. It's more about just getting helping out.
I need to ask a question just quickly. Who is working on a side project? So something above and beyond school or working? Cool. That's good to hear, thank you. I did this once with a group and nobody put their hand up. That was horrible. And that's something that's really important to us, to show off those special projects, show that enthusiasm and passion. Even if you have no work experience, you've got this project, it's that thing you love. Yeah, hot sauce or t-shirt?
T-shirt.
Right, there's a...
Come and see us.
More questions?
Hang on.
So, special projects could be not IT related, like 3D printing or something like that. It's just like fine enough, you couldn't actually use it as being, but it's like take a side of that.
It's that thing that, you can talk about till...
So did everyone hear the question? He was saying the special project doesn't have to be a coding project or anything like that. It could be 3D printing, I do radio control plane flying, things like that. Just something else that you're interested in, you're enthusiastic about.
So therefore you follow that up and look at the sites they were going to and are they socially integrated with those people?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it can be hard to give your personality across in a CV and it's only words, so it's hard to be able to show.
Don't send your CV.
To be able to show. So what are some innovative ways that you have seen people submit their CVs, or do you have any suggestions of ways that people can, be able to show that personality? Because it's something that's really hard.
Yeah, we have so many awesome ones, so many awesome examples. And I wasn't joking about not sending your CV. I'm totally okay if you don't send the CV to me, because I will honestly give it about 4 seconds. And I'm not exaggerating for once as well. Like I think the national average, or the international average, is about, people say 20, but really it's 6.
Seconds.
4 seconds. You do not get chance. Give me an amazing cover letter. Show that you put some thought into, why you're applying for the role at Vend. That's a great start. But some other innovative ways. We did an Instagram job ad, which was pretty cool. It was basically a photograph of a notice on a wall that basically said what we were looking for, and had the numbers that you rip off in the bottom of the thing. It's really cool. Tara, she applied. She didn't send her CV in. She basically just did exactly the same thing back and took photos and sent it. We had Richard, a designer, who he basically designed a website for us that was the 10 reasons why we should hire him. It was really, really funny. It was pretty amazing. Nat, who is she's our documentation manager now, but she applied for an online training manager role. She basically took the Zendesk, which is our help desk software. She took like a login, made us a little online video explaining why she was the best person for the job. And you looked at it, it wasn't a CV, it was just the Zendesk platform. What else we had? Oh, the other day, I got this box, like a hat box. And inside the box was a puzzle. And the puzzle was for the designer, so we were recruiting another designer. And the puzzle was just to keep them entertained and, hopefully they have some time because they were so busy to play with this puzzle. And then there was this handwritten note and a thumb drive. And
Virus.
So I plug in the thumb drive and it's titled "Hi Kirsti." And so I'm like, oh, this is cool. And so I open it up and it's just like, hope you're having an awesome day. It's the first folder. Cool, so I open that folder, and then there's another one that's just like, I saw your job ad and would really like to work at Vend. And it's, it had his CV and his portfolio and stuff, and then in the PDF with his CV and portfolio, he had this chat with me link at the very, very end that automatically went to like setting up an email. So I was going to write an email with the subject line, can we have a coffee, or let's go have a coffee. So super elaborate and amazing. We didn't hire him, but we joked, but you know what I mean, right?
Just want to know that whether they are willing to recruit the freshers, like as they are doing the tertiary education. What's their need actually?
So from graduates or from?
Yeah. What's their actual need of the IT companies? Whether they are willing to give chances to the freshers?
So new graduates.
It's a bit of a tough one for us this year.
Very small.
Because we are scaling really fast, and we could bring a whole lot of graduates in, and we would love to, but then we wouldn't be able to actually support you. So we're holding off grads until next year, but when we do go down that track, it comes back to that enthusiasm, the special projects that you're working on, your engagement in the community, but being able to come in and not have any work experience at all, but be able to talk to us for an hour about the stuff that you love.
Yeah.
And being curious and wanting to learn and just having a great attitude.
That's the thing is we know as a graduate, we know you're probably, look at your grades, you've qualified. You've qualified and you've got mobility, but
no, because IT companies are expecting the New Zealand-based experience. But how is it possible to get the experience while we are studying?
No, we don't.
So we don't expect the experience.
No.
But it's
Especially if you're a
experience.
graduate.
Yeah. You can do your own projects. Play around. Join your buddies and have a bit of a play around with something. Come up with some ideas. If it's a game, if it's just an idea, anything.
GitHub is free.
And GitHub is free.
Exactly.
And awesome.
Do you employ the people who are currently overseas, even remotely?
We employ everyone from New Zealand. The scaling
They
and
must
culture.
be here.
Pardon?
They must be here.
No. So we have sales and support offices internationally. All of our product development is here. We do interview people from overseas, but the reality is the interview process with Vend is a long one. Not because we can't make up our mind, but because we want you to spend some time with lots of us and make sure that we get that right fit. So for you to not be in New Zealand for that process is really, really hard.
Yeah, it's hard, but I think maybe you are able to employ someone who is in the overseas and send the salary to him overseas.
No, we want them here with us. Keep them and look after them and grow them and have them with the rest of the team. It's hard to be alone.
Yeah.